the quantitative methods and approaches to figure out what kinds of activities will contribute to those outcomes and how you measure them on the ground. So it is, and I would say we're investing a lot of thinking in it, but I don't think we have solved it by any means. Thinking about the one project that I'm most familiar with, the one Foodscape project that I'm most familiar with that is doing this is in Northwest India. And there, what I would say is, you know, they've got a good handle on the activities.
Transcend the old cycle of the project money runs out. We want to look for long-term self-sufficiency. So just a couple of very small pilot to essentially use the equipment differently for a low-till model. The mechanized support has dropped by 21%. So even if their production's exactly the same, the price is exactly the same. In general terms, they're 21% richer that year. So they're happy to stick with that. And I think with the Happy Cedar project in Northwest India, that we're starting to see some of that self-sustaining momentum where we've helped by working with the farmers, help create a different model. In northern India. So just wanted to throw those in. Misa, please.
Thank you. M&D assessment. It's a big one. There are a couple of points quick. who are helping us not soil sampling and studies. And then number two, we've got a data science proving to be very effective in combining satellite imagery on ground truthing and working closely with soil scientists. The economics, Saswati just had someone we're going to be working very closely with, but Africa, the programs are large. We're still relying on engaging partners and contractors to do that. I don't think at any time we'll have adequate economists and even geographers on board to be able to look at the scale adequately. We're also working with other organizations, EASA, which played a critical role in the Foodscape report that Michael mentioned. And so we're becoming more and more robust as the program evolves to be able to meet the needs of a large program in Africa that can engage effectively with other organizations like yours, but also with foundations that need to see the changes in a much more effective way. Thank you, Bob. That's what I wanted to mention.
Thank you. I see the other Michael is ready to share more with us.
Thank you. That was a great question. I missed your name.
Kat.
Kat, yes. Actually, I just wanted to concur with what Misiko has said, that in such large programs, definitely you require monitoring and evaluation tool or program that will kind of measure your baseline alongside with probably what you achieve midway in the program and probably the end results that will be able to speak to how far did you or the program achieve its targets or outcomes, leave alone impacts that come after maybe a long time. So in Rainforest Alliance, we have such kind of course thinking, and we have a whole department that develops such kind of tools for large kind of projects, and we kind of follow through so that you are able to develop a given tool that kind of monitors the progress and the outcomes and outputs together of such a large program like the one I mentioned, the Mount Kenya Landscapes and Livelihoods program that spans over 6 years and over 6 counties, and just beginning from 2 pilot counties in such a case. And in partnerships also, we realize that there are so many tools, by the way, in the market that can do such kind of stuff. So probably at some point we also said we don't want to crack our small heads when we have partners like my colleagues here. They have a tool, I think, I want to usurp powers and hand over to maybe Michael. Yeah, you can speak on the land scale. There's a tool that they have developed, a land scale. I mean, it's a wonderful tool that we are also trying to pilot in our Mount Kenya Landscapes and Livelihoods program, which kind of, you input all this stuff, the financing models and your targets and all that, and you're able to monitor, and at the end of the day, it gives you very good outcomes. But it's a pilot for our case, but I think they are better placed to speak to that. Please.
Thanks, Michael. And land scale, of course, is led by Rainforest Alliance, Envera, and Conservation International. Again, there's strong coalitions here with strong inputs put in by numerous other partners, eco-agriculture being one. But land scale is very interesting and very promising in that it's taking a different approach to how we measure impact, of course, and measuring it at the landscape level is still a very daunting challenge, but it's definitely a step in the right direction in terms of flipping the script a little bit, in terms that a lot of certification and measurement agendas have been traditionally top down. Land scale is giving local actors at the landscape level the choice to kind of identify the indicators and the things that they want to measure, and then demonstrating that back to potential investors to demonstrate that risk reduction. So essentially, landscape actors showing investors, funders, whoever it might be, what they value. We see a lot of schemes and measurement criteria around carbon, and it's important to measure carbon, certainly, but at the same time, people in the landscape are usually more concerned with livelihoods, water, incomes, and production outputs, all those various different things. And measuring the linkages between them is really what gets tricky, right? So measuring the synergies that are apparent in a watershed and how that impacts crop production and how that impacts health indicators is really, really important. So land scale is the first step in this evolution, and is one of many groups that I think are actually getting more and more into this. And it's a great way to actually pilot the different things that are happening at the landscape level or at the landscape scale, and advance our thinking and really accelerate the shift towards socializing and normalizing this approach. Is being able to measure it well is really important if we're going to make it be something that is landscapes, that is in the integrated landscape management, something that's the norm in how we operate.
We were just Googling land scale.
I think it's cool that a topic, a discussion on regenerative sort of morphed or evolved into sort of a broader discussion on landscapes. I think this, I'm so very happy that we've made that linkage about Michael, I just wanted to say, yeah, I think I resonated a lot with what you were saying about landscape scale approaches in practice. It's not just pie in the sky. That groups like RA are already doing stuff on that, and you're sort of doubling down on the point of the importance of linking different actors in the landscape. And I think if you follow that to its next sort of thing on the to-do list, I think maybe it's obvious, but just to state the obvious, we need to also think about strengthening local institutions, strengthening capacities of local institutions to actually carry out these activities. If we're talking about coordination roles, we have to be able to, be assured that they're equipped with the skills, the negotiation skills, the understanding of the landscape, and enough to be able to effectively coordinate in a way that mitigates conflict, maximizes those opportunities for synergy among actors whose interests will be very different from each other. But yeah, just to maybe make that, if it's an obvious thing, but just the importance of local institutions. I think this goes to sort of the theme of what USAID now is, the song that USAID's singing about locally led development. Hopefully there'll be some funding that comes down the road for this kind of thing that we can use to do just that, help local level groups to organize themselves and be ready to perform better services on the ground.
Additional thoughts or comments? Well, thank you. It's Friday evening. It's been quite a week. Some folks will be here somewhat longer. I guess it's sort of cop convening humor, but when we, the Nature Conservancy delegation, arrived on Sunday, in addition to two of us being denied our hotel rooms, we realized that we were looking at having somewhere between 0 and 3 sessions. And we wound up with 3. and two of them we discovered almost by accident were actually going to happen. So we really, we're honored that you all came out this evening. We believe that the discussion this evening has enriched our understanding and the effort that we're trying to coordinate and move forward together with the UNCCD. So thank you very much this evening. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.
You gonna go home now?
What do you have in mind?
Nightclub, Friday night.
Did we introduce you to our new best friend, David? With
USDA?
no.
Oh, that's Jeff.
Like Salone Capital.
No.
Hey, fantastic.
Yes.
Great.
Ok. Ce que je voulais dire par rapport à l'énergie renouvelable, c'est une réalité. Mais dans les pays en voie de développement, par exemple, tous les pays sur le Sahara, mais l'importation
It's just saying that the renewable energy is such a hot button issue. A lot of people in conservation circles don't like charcoal.
Et c'est ça la réalité
The
dans les
reality
pays.
is that you have to be in a continent that uses 90% of it uses charcoal and timber for cooking and heating.
I used to be an American diplomat. My last posting was Nigeria.
Diplomatic aux États-Unis, et son dernier poste était
Nigeria. Yes.
My wife had a informal women's project in a little village near Jos.
sa femme travaillait dans un village qui s'appelle Poche à Jos.
And, there was potential for the shea butter industry.
Good, potential pour l'industrie.
But some people would cut the shea tree for shea butter. So one small nonprofit was giving each household a pig. A pig.
Oh, pigs. Donc, il y avait à l'époque, il y avait une chose qui avait un chapeau.
So they each home had a biodigester.
Donc, le porc fonctionnera comme digesteur de...
So they didn't have to cut down the bushes.
They burned the poop. They burned the poop.
No, it's the gas. The gas.
Donc, ils ont utilisé le gaz. Ah, ok, ok.
Yeah, and that produced fuel and light. So they didn't need to gather all the fuel.
Oui, en fait, c'est vrai, c'est une réalité. Et chez nous, il y a un programme national de biodigesteurs. Là, on a le gaz,
In Burkina, there's a national program on biodigesters.
mais fait de la nourriture des ménages. Oui, et la culture, bon, ça fait
home was run by women. It was very neat. There's so many needs, of course, including water for people. And I came very close